Now, I am contrary to I know it's the big popular thing right now. It's like, oh, Sony doesn't do good stuff. I'm a big fan of what Sony's been doing. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best comic book films of the past 5 years. I think. I absolutely loved it. I got a big kick. I don't fuck everybody else. I don't care what anybody else says. I love the Venom movies. I have a lot of fun with the Venom movies. I was so looking forward to Morbius. It was one of my most anticipated film of the years. Yeah, not everything can work out the way you want. And Morbius was Morbius. So it is what it is. But I got real excited when I found out they were doing a Kraven the Hunter movie. And then I got even more excited when I found out that Aaron Taylor Johnson was going to be playing the role. I love Aaron Taylor Johnson. And it's not just from Kick-Ass, or it's not just because he was Quicksilver. He's got that one. It's not called Heathens. What's it called again?
Savages.
Mm-hmm.
With that's based on a Don Winslow novel that Oliver Stone directed.
Yep, and he did that one with Blake Lively and Taylor Kitsch.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I actually really like the performances and all that. I didn't like the third
Selma
act.
Hayek, John Travolta. I love that movie.
It's a great film.
Yeah, I'm not huge on the third act, but I love that thing a lot. He looks so good in Bullet Train. Yeah. I mean, just looks absolutely fantastic in Bullet Train, and I'm really excited to see him play Kraven the Hunter, and it's going to be interesting to see where they're going. Now, we also know that comic book movies are never exactly like the comics themselves, unless you're talking about Sin City or something like that. But, you know, Days of Future Past is nothing like the Days of Future Past comics. Civil War was very unlike the Civil War comic books. It's like that, right? So we always expect there to be differences. You need to take creative liberties. But there was an interesting interview that Aaron Taylor Johnson just did. I think he was promoting Bullet Train at the time, and they asked him about Kraven the Hunter. And he said this. He said, during a chat with Variety, Aaron Taylor Johnson spoke about his time as the character and revealed that the film recently wrapped production after shooting entirely on location. While describing the role, Johnson said that Kraven is, quote, one of Marvel's most iconic, notorious anti-heroes, Spider-Man's #1 rival. He went on to say that he is, quote unquote, not an alien or wizard. He's just a hunter, a human with conviction. It's the next description that is throwing some fans, as Johnson confirmed that in the movie, Kraven is, quote, an animal lover and a protector of the natural world. This character trait alone goes directly against the central core of the character as depicted in the comic books. All right. This is interesting because on the one hand, it says, he is a hunter. Aaron Taylor Johnson saying he is a hunter. On the other hand, he says, and he's an animal lover. Like that sounds right along the lines of, I'm a vegan, pass the beef, right? It's two statements that don't really seem to jive together. So, Rob, you and I were talking a little bit before the show started. The only way in my head initially that I can see those two statements that Aaron Taylor Johnson makes. He is a hunter, and he loves the animals, and he's a protector of the natural world. Okay, follow it here. Sometimes hunting is permitted in certain areas to protect the ecological system that they've got going on, right? Like, for example, if there are too many deer in an area, they're going to overgraze, and it's going to starve out all the deer. Therefore, they need hunters to go in and take out some deer for the sake of balancing the ecosystem in there. If too many predators are in an area, that could, number one, eliminate all the other animal species and then make the predator race starve. So hunters are allowed to go in and take out some of those predators. So my thought here is that maybe what Aaron Taylor Johnson is referring to is that, yeah, he believes he protects the natural world, and he protects the natural world by doing some very key strategic hunting. Maybe when there's unnatural predators get introduced into an environment, he's the only, maybe like a symbiote. Venom, Carnage sees it as his duty to protect the natural balance of the world, that I need to go hunt that and take that thing out. Again, I'm making all this up in my head, just basically trying to kind of equate what it is that Aaron Taylor Johnson, on the one hand, super hunter, on the other hand, lover of the natural world. So I'm just trying to equate that in my own head. Anyway,
Rob,
Rob,
the sponsor of today's video, Me Undies. Guys, it is summertime, which means you got a lot of great fun plans, but make sure part of those plans is wearing Me Undies, because Me Undies wants to make this summer the most comfortable one that you'll never forget, because when you're living your best life in the summer, the last thing you want to worry about is butt sweat and junk swamp. Listen, when you're feeling comfy and feeling good, you're more present to enjoy all your summer plans. It's like science or something. MeUndies has the lightest and most breathable fabrics to keep you cool and comfortable wherever you go. From undies, bralettes, and socks, loungewear, and swimwear, you can find something for all of your plans. MeUndies also releases new prints all the time, like their limited edition Pride collection. You can match with your partner, friends, or even your dog. Find your ultimate summer comfort in sizes extra small to 4XL. You guys know I have been wearing MeUndies for a couple of months now, and I will never go back to regular underwear. And right now, MeUndies has a great offer for all the viewers and listeners of the John Campea Show. For any first-time purchasers, you get 15% off. For a limited time, if you sign up for their free-to-join MeUndies membership, you get 25% off your first membership item. So to get 15% off your first order or 25% off your first membership item and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Campea. That's MeUndies.com/Campea.
That in my own head. Anyway, Rob, you hear these comments. Number one, where have your thoughts been about a Kraven the Hunter movie in general, Aaron Taylor-Johnson being attached? And then what do you make of these comments Aaron Taylor-Johnson just made?
Well, I really love Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and I love Kraven. You know, I let Kraven's Last Hunt's one of my favorite Spider-Man storylines, and I was really, really looking forward to this. Until I saw Morbius. Because here's the thing. I understand that they're trying to maybe build the Sinister Six or whatever they're trying to do in the long run. But Morbius, to me, seemed very reminiscent of David Ayer's Suicide Squad when I saw it. Now, a lot of people like Suicide Squad. When I saw the movie, I thought it was an incoherent mess. And you could tell, as we found out later, that the studio re-edited it. They brought in a trailer company to recut it. I felt that way about Morbius. I felt like they made this vampire movie. Then they were like, we can't get, this is an R-rated movie you guys made an R-rated movie. It can't be R-rated, so we got to tone it down. No real red blood. You know, we'll change it around. And that's what Morbius felt like to me. And Kraven the Hunter, he's a pretty edgy character. And now they're trying to like soften him up. Like he's ecologically minded. You know, he only hunts when he's helping the natural order. Like we have to keep the balance of the population there.
Now, to be fair, we've seen a lot of very vicious villains in fiction over the years whose baseline motivation is protection of the environment.
Sure, that's
right?
true. I mean, that is absolutely true. And that's actually a very good point. But these guys are supposed to be villains. You know, and Kraven the Hunter is in the Spider-Man realm is a very dangerous villain to Spider-Man. You know, and Kraven wants to bag Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. He wants to kill him, you know, to prove how good he is. So it's like when you know, they want to soft pedal these villainous characters or these, call them evil, call them what you want. It's almost like, and same even with Venom. Like I agree with you. There's certain fun to be had from those movies. But again, and there are miniseries like Venom, Lethal Protector, but what are these characters? Are you setting these characters up to be Spider-Man villains? Or do you want us to, are they all supposed to be lovable, charming, misunderstood rogues? I mean, I find that these characters are kind of being neutered. I mean, why not go full-on bad guy?
Like
you can't make a
that's
movie
a
about him.
lion's face that he sliced open and made into a vest.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
that was a line that was over hunting things, though. That line was bad for the environment.
That was a naughty lion. That was
Bad lion.
Scar. That was Scar from The Lion King, and
That's
he needs
right.
to be taken out.
I mean, this is, I guess I know they can't. Look, I would love to see a movie about a full-on villain, you know, because the villains don't believe they are.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's the direction they're going with this. Maybe you're going to see somebody who's really philosophical and is the world's greatest hunter. And he, you know, man is the most dangerous game. I don't know. But look, I will reserve judgment, as I always do, until I see it.
Oh, by the way, just going back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, Thanos himself was basically an environmentalist thing, right? It's like,
Yes,
to
he was.
protect the universe, I've got to eliminate half the life in it.
Yeah.
To protect the universe. I don't know.
And
Well,
maybe that's another good point.
I mean, they did say, too, I mean, when they launched the whole Kraven project, they said, they always described him as an anti-hero. They always described him as an anti. So we always knew that was going to be the direction they were going to go, right? So whether or not they do it well or not, do they do it Venom well, or do they do it Morbius badly? And so that's going to be the question. Anyway, Chris, you hearing about all this?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Kraven right now?
Well, it does feel like they're jumping the gun with his storyline, right? Because in the Unbeatable Squirrel Girls, friend Kraven, She helps convince him, like, hey, Spider-Man is not the enemy you think he is. This is not the worst thing in the MCU. There are so many other things, because he vows to only hunt the hunters.
Right.
But this feels like that's a ABC step away from here, right? We still need to meet Kraven the Hunter. And maybe he is a whole, like, snout to tail kind of hunter, right? Of just, we use the whole animal, we respect the animal, we thank the animal for its service. Maybe that's what we're going to get in here. But it does feel like we are just going a few steps over in the character's arc. And I say that without having seen the film, just based on this quote. Because if you are going to have a more animal-friendly hunter, I don't know how you execute that without this other kind of storyline of Squirrel Girl coming in. So you need to find Squirrel Girl. And I don't know where you could find her.
Here's a question. We've joked in the past. Well, not joke. We're dead serious. Kraven the Hunter seeing a news clip of Venom in the city and thinking,
That.
yeah, I need to go get that. That would be awesome. But okay, let's say it's not going to be Venom. Forgetting the Paul Giamatti Rhino.
Why would you want to?
Yeah,
Why?
Best iteration ever.
Best thing ever.
So good.
By the way, Academy Award winner Paul
Yeah.
Giamatti's Rhino. What would be another Spider-Man Rogues Gallery character that could be somebody in a Kraven movie that comes across Kraven's radar, that Kraven says, I need to go hunt that, or that is unnatural to my world, or that is damaging my precious hunting ground, or whatever. What would be another character? I mean, a different iteration of Rhino, maybe.
Or Lizard, a different iteration.
Lizard.
Of Kirk Connors.
Scorpion, if you do that a little
Oh,
differently.
Scorpion wouldn't be a bad one either. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, question is for you guys. What do you think about this? Kraven the Hunter is just trying to protect Bambi, damn it. But he's going to be Hunter at the same time. Love the dichotomy. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.